Hello there. Another quiet week in Europe then. Just Bayern over in Barcelona showing there's more than one way to skin a Catalan. And of course that whole dawn of a new era of German football dominance thing. Nice to see the French among the first to roll over. L'Equipe here, sprechen Sie Deutsche. Now while last week's semi-final headlines were all about Klopp's Dortmund, this time it's Jupp's Troops Bayern who have the continent agog. A Bayern side, remember, so good that Arsenal were one goal away from putting them out of the tournament. Anyway, reaction from around the continent. Gazzetta in Italy on Wednesday. What a Bayern, they say. Champions League dictators do not die in their beds. They're taken out and executed in public. Sweden's Aftonbladet, meanwhile, announced 4 years ago Bayern were like schoolboys in Barcelona. This time, they gave 90 minutes of schooling, and their next class will be at Wembley as FC Bayern teach Europe how to play football. Looking forward. Well, certainly took the world's most fancied outfit and made them look as ridiculous over two legs as a pair of lederhosen. And the result, as you know, is an all-German final, which the German press are as ecstatic about as only someone who's never been to Wembley can be. Ja, Deutsche Finale. There, football's coming home. Announce Bill, the time to envy the Spanish is past, and hopefully, says the paper, that'll prove true next summer as well. Morgan Post have a big picture of Uli Hoeneß, the ugly side of German football right now. They say it's a dream final. They salute the changing of the guard. Interesting win this, isn't it? And Der Tagesspiegel, Wembley calling. Now, meanwhile, over in Kicker, headline once again is Traumfinale. A dream final. Bayern and Dortmund are role models in Europe, they say. When we said after the semi-final draw that the German sides weren't the underdogs, everyone thought we were stupid. But now, after years of trying, the title will be a German one. Above all, without economic stupidity. Ask Madrid and Barcelona how much they'd give for that. Still, says the magazine, it's very positive, but only for two German clubs. For the rest of the Bundesliga is anything but competitive internationally. Well, still the kind of problem they'd kill for in Spain, where it looks bad for Barcelona. Spanish champs and Champions League semi-finalists they may be, but that hasn't saved them from the wrath of the periodistas. Words like impotent flying around and humiliated. There it is on the front of La Vanguardia, who say another drubbing seals the end of a golden era for Barca, a period when the mere mention of their name would scare the opposition. El País call their performance unforgivable, while El Periódico de Catalunya say journey's end. Sport, who the previous day had saluted Madrid's exit with "By Mu, total collapse accomplished," now have "Without God," with little number 10 there was no miracle. Over in Madrid, Marca say 7-0. This one will be impossible for them to forget. And they ask, can this Pep Guardiola fellow really fill Heinkes' shoes at Bayern? He could be in for an uncomfortable season. While across town, their neighbours Ass really stick the knife in. Worse than this for Barca, they say, was impossible. They were worse than the worst nightmare. Messi, Puyol and Mascherano were injured coming to this, but their honour wasn't. Now, though, it's lost. It's a shadow on the field. If Wednesday, continues Ass, was an audition for Barca's future, the club will need every removal van in the city to help with the clear-out. Wow. Well, the Catalans, of course, not helped by Madrid's brave showing against Dortmund the night before, in which they waved goodbye to the Decima, but at least produced a late comeback so tense that, according to Bild, it drove Dortmund's chairman, Hans-Joachim Watzke, to lock himself in the toilet for the final 6 minutes, Kevin Keegan style. With the final coming up then, Bayern not the only club who may finish with their chairman in the can. But one good bit of news for the Catalans is that with that game, arch enemy Mu is now on his way, with, as AS reports, cuddly Carlo Ancelotti set to take his place. This following José's remarkable "Thea culpa" stroke "come and get me" press conference on Tuesday. Most of the Madrid press unmoved by Mu's post-game quotes, although El País calling him out for turning everything into an advert for himself. Ooh, scoop. It also calls this the worst of his three semi-final exits, given Dortmund's relative resources. El Mundo also have a parting shot for the Real Madrid manager. Remember, Mu, they say, you won more working at Barcelona as a translator than you did at Madrid as the main man. Well, it certainly was a glorious era, but everything comes to a conclusion, apart from ITV post-game interviews, perhaps. That, though, is it for this week's special Champions League semi-final roundup. We'll be back with more in 7 days' time. Do join us then.